Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today, I've come up with a new project, so I'm going to introduce it to you guys. I've been playing around with buffers and stuff for the MWS for a little while, different springs, different buffer combinations, and I basically have I've got an actual BCM Bravo Company manufacturing buffer, and I also had I thought it was a GMP one, but all the GMP ones I see online are black for some reason, but either way, and I just weighed them and they were like identical. So they both weighed 84 grams. So I was like, okay, well, there's no point in having two buffers that are essentially identical that weigh exactly the same amount. So I decided, because they both have movable weights in them, to actually take one of the weights out of the GMP buffer. And what that did is it reduced it down to like 66 grams. So each of these little movable weights is like 18 grams. So then, because I picked up my second lower quite recently, it came complete with a stock buffer. So as you can see, it's sort of I've weighed one of these before. They're 24 grams. So at the moment I've got like an 80 something gram buffer. I've now got the GMP one, which is 60 something grams. I've got this, which is 20 something grams. So where's the 40 something gram one? Well, because I've got two of these original spec buffers, what I've just started doing is dremeling this hole out to make it bigger so that I can fit one of these GMP weights inside. And if I just pop all of these on the scales, what I'm hoping at the end of this project that I'm going to get is a buffer that weighs 42 grams but is original, like TM spec. So it'd be like a TM original spec plastic buffer, but with this pushed way down inside here, so it sits like here somewhere. Now I've realised a few things. So I believe that this appears to just be like drilled out. I've had a look, the seam lines down the side of it. I don't think there's any way that I can like crack this open and reattach it back together without basically damaging the integrity and the structure of it, because I still need it to be able to go back and forward, and not only that, it's going to have a bit more weight in it. So I can't really compromise the structural integrity too much, but I think that I will still be able to just about get away with boring that through. So it's a little bit hard for you to see on camera, but it is still going to leave maybe like a couple of mil all the way around each side, and as long as I manage to bury it quite far down in there. The way that this system works is there's actually a spring that goes on the spike that goes all in here, then you've got little wings on the side of this bit that line up. Well, there's no point in having the wings because you've got a pin that has to go through this hole here anyway, so I don't see the point in having the wings. So basically the slats you can see here and here on either side, there and there, they're basically gonna be bored out. So I'm going to bore this entire unit out, and at the end of it, yeah, I should be left with a bunch of different weight of buffers. This is probably going to take quite a while. It seems it's like really thick, like solid plastic that they've used for this, but I don't want to go in from this end because this is the end that basically engages with like the main body of the gun. So if anything goes wrong, I'd rather have it blow out inside the buffer tube and I can just basically like take everything out and just tip it out and it'll be okay. Or even with original TM spec, you can actually end up taking the back end off it somehow. So yeah, actually I think you have to go inside to do that. But either way, like I'd rather it blew into the buffer tube rather than like into the actual working parts of the gun itself. So yeah, with that being said, this is my new project. I don't know how long it's going to take, but when I've done it, I can then bring something to you with all of the different buffers and tell you guys if it is actually like viable to do this and whether it actually does change anything. Because to be honest, you know, as soon as you start adding weights to your buffers, it does increase your recoil. And the fact that these ones have moving weights, that helps to stop with the bolt bounce. So, I don't know, this is going to hopefully retain some of its spring function, so it's still going to have like the comping at the back, but it's just going to have a little bit more weight to it. So, let's see what happens. So, yeah, if you want to follow the project, subscribe and you'll get notified when I follow up and tell you guys what's happened. And obviously I'll like do a results video at the end of it when I've got some results for you guys. But in the meantime, I better get on with dremeling. So yeah, until the next, guys, take care.